Welcome to the lounge, and looking at the stock 50 here, and the wave count is quite simple throughout the European community. The wave 1 and 2 and then 5 waves in here for wave 3. We've been looking for the top of wave 4 with the strong move down. It's signifying that it's completed, and looking down into wave 5 of C here, which should make a new low below wave 3 here. And this is the same for the other markets. So looking at just getting the Dax up here, hardly any change here, same pattern. Now we'll look obviously to the medium level 9,000 here, but it can certainly move below that as well. Okay, so normally there's a relationship. If wave 3 is the longest and strongest, then wave 1 and wave 5 here can be the same length. There's a bit of a guide stick, so we can look at that being here. So it does take it below the 9,000, but it's probably wave 3 that hits 9,000 anyway, and moves from that point there. So I'm just going to drill straight in on the 15-minute chart here, because we know that wave 4 is there as such. So up here we're looking at wave 4. Now there's a little bit of a difference in the wave 4s as such. Maybe I should just go back a second to 2-hour chart here. Sorry about that. So in some of the European markets, this was the top here, and this is the top here in the US markets as well. So it's quite viable that we should be taking our wave count from this point here and counting this down here. And so if that's the case, we've got 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4 and 5 coming into here. This little box here is the 61.8% mark on the 9,500 here. So we can expect to see some support here, but I think it's just a small 4th wave and then the 5th wave down. So it's logical to take it from over here as such, but as I mentioned, in other European markets, this is the top here, the same as the US. So we just need to be a little bit careful on how we count this. There's just another sort of spanner in the works too that I need to sort of put into, is that as you know, wave 4s tend to be sideways and complex. So it's possible for this particular market to continue with its wave 4. So if I put this here and then have this over here as a wave C over here, that's possible as well. And then that would make this here an A wave, a B wave to here, and 5 waves as a C wave for wave B here, and then move up from that point there as well. So that's also possible as well. And this is the problem with 4th waves. So we need to be a little bit careful on this. Yeah, I'll just leave you with that scenario there. Now I'll just cut back into the 15-minute chart here, and taking it from that last top here, this would be in line with the S&P 500. So it's not such a silly thought, and I think that we need to sort of play both of them, keep in mind on both of them. But at the moment, this count that I've got here should play out reasonably well. So from this high here, we got 5 waves for 1 and back for 2 here, and then we're looking at wave 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. Even if I've made a mistake here, and this is wave 1 here of a smaller degree, it still pans out the same here. So 9-5 here, you can expect to see a series of bounces here. So that's the way that it should play out. Once we've got that, once that low's in place here, that low down here, then you'll be able to get a better 50-60%. And I've just got it at 9,650 here, which is always a number worth paying attention to. Yeah, so that's sort of how it counts out, and this is the same for, have a look at France for instance, you can see with France here, and I'll bring this up as an example as well, the top for the DAX was here, but in this case, this top here is in play here. So we have this other little 5 waves up here. So that's why I'm taking the count from there, and this will be the same here as well. So we can look at 1, 2, 3. There'll be a wave 4 here once that lands here, then wave 5, an A and a B and a C for wave 2, and then working lower from that point. Okay, well that's it. Pretty straightforward and pretty simple. On the shorting side of things, well then over here is the best bet. But like I said, wave 4s can get a bit complicated, and if that's the case, then yeah, we just have to be careful. That's all. I mean, anything can happen in here, but it is looking impulsive to start with here. So like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, it's displaying quite a nice 5-wave structure here. So even if it is a B wave here, it'd still be an A and a B and a C wave into this area here. So the short setup over here would still be good. Yeah, I mean, if you're shorting now, you'd have to leave the stop like way back up here anyway, out of reach. So it's not such a bad idea for a very small position too, because this could drift on lower down to here and then bounce back from that point and move down. So yeah, it's all good. So basically we're looking on the short side. Okay, cheers.